All right, the very first thing that I'm going to do to get us started is that I'm going to cut a strip of the granite film that runs the length of my longest counter. So in this instance, it's going to go all the way from the end of the counter, and I have a drop off at the end. So I'm going to leave a couple of inches so I can wrap around the end. And I'm going to go all the way to my stove. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut a length of film that's the longest length of my countertop. For me, I have a 12-foot run. So I cut one length that's 12 feet, and I've laid it out on my countertop. And we're going to go ahead and start installing it just on one edge using the spray bottle. You want to go ahead and spray so that it's not just moist and you're not going to wipe it off. You just want to go ahead and spray so that you have a nice film of water. And you can see that I've started to peel back the film from the backing, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and start to lay it out just on one edge. As you get through installing the film, you might want to cut away some of the backing, especially on a longer piece like this, because it'll start to get in your way. So cut away a piece of the backing and then keep rolling it out. So we're coming up to the sink, and there's three ways to deal with the sink. One, you could uninstall your sink and faucet, and I will not be doing that today. The second thing you can do is cut a piece right in line with or slightly overlapping your edge of your sink, and fit your piece from there to your next counter edge, and then start on the other side of the sink, and then you can fill around with pieces. That will work. What I'm going to do is slightly more involved, but certainly still at the DIY level. I'm going to take the film in the single continuous piece that I've run, and I'm going to lay it over my sink, and very carefully I'm going to mark an X and actually cut through the film so that I can fit the actual faucet down into the film before I take the backing off. And just remember to keep spraying, because that's what's going to give you the ability to move your film around as you're working on it. It doesn't matter if it's really wet behind it. You may actually have water coming out from under your film, especially when you start to squeegee. That's what you want. You don't just want it moist, you want it wet so that you can work with your film and move it around as you're installing it. So keep spraying. And what I'm doing now is just very carefully cutting inside the sink. I don't want to do the detail cutting yet. But I know this is where the film is going to go. So I want to see the parts underneath it. And I'm just going to cut that out before I continue to stick the other side down on the other side of the sink. All right, so I'm going to fit this down over the rest of the sink, and then I'll be ready to do the other side of the sink. so I'm coming to the end of my run here, and I won't lie to you, it's on a very long run like this. It's a little bit like wrestling alligators. It does help to have one or maybe even two people here just to help you pull apart the film so that somebody can spray, somebody can pull apart, and somebody can lay down the film as you go. But really, this only took us a few minutes, and you want to make sure that you're spraying the backsplash and all the way underneath so that as you get through here, you still can reposition the film. You can see the area around the sink is still not beautiful. We haven't made the final cuts around, don't worry. Just make sure that the backing is off, and we'll come back and do that in a few minutes. And after you have everything laid down, you're going to just take the squeegee and squeegee out. And I don't know if you can see it, but I'm actually getting some water coming out from underneath here. That's good. The water is going to help the air escape so that you have fewer bubbles as you squeegee out.